Hello, dears. I wanted to go over chapters 1 through 6 of Holes with you. Our main character is Stanley Yelnats IV. Poor Stanley. He's on his way to Camp Green Lake, which is a prison for boys. So here are some of the other characters we met. We have Stanley Yelnats IV. He's our main character, and he's on his way to Camp Green Lake. This is his dad, Stanley Yelnats III. His dad's an inventor, and he's trying to find a way to recycle old sneakers. Our main character was arrested for stealing sneakers. Isn't that ironic? His dad's trying to recycle sneakers, and he gets arrested for stealing sneakers. One thing that I like about their name, Stanley Yelnats, is if you look at the last name Yelnats, it's actually Stanley spelled backwards. So here's their whole family. Okay, there's our main character, Stanley Yelnats IV. There's his father, Stanley Yelnats III. His grandfather, Stanley Yelnats II. His great-grandfather, Stanley Yelnats I. And his great-great-grandfather, Elia Yelnats. So that's his whole family line. And we're going to learn a little bit about his family going forward. All of them have been failures. Stanley blames his dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather. His dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather is that guy on the bottom, Elia Yelnats. It's why he looks so sad. Apparently, he stole a pig, and because he stole that pig, the whole family's been cursed. Let's start at the top. Stanley, he's been arrested. His father is a failure at inventing things. We don't really know why his grandfather's a failure yet, but his great-grandfather, Stanley Yelnats I, he had a fortune. He had a whole millions of dollars, and he was on his way in his horse and carriage, and he lost the fortune. We're going to talk about that. And his great-great-grandfather, well, he's the one who got the whole family cursed. If you look at the bottom, there's Kissin' Kate Barlow. She's actually the outlaw, the criminal who stole Stanley's great-grandfather's fortune. She showed up and she pulled over the stagecoach and she came in with her guns and she took all his money. And it's a good thing that she did not kiss him, because every person that she kissed, she ended up murdering. So the only reason that Stanley Yelnats I survived is that Kissin' Kate Barlow did not give him a kiss. So Stanley arrives at Camp Green Lake. There's sun, there's heat, there's no shade, there's scorpions, there's rattlesnakes, and there's yellow spotted lizards. If you get bitten by a yellow spotted lizard, you might as well just lay down and die, because there's nothing anybody can do for you. So when we get to Camp Green Lake, we meet two people. The first is Mr. Sir. He's always grumpy. He just quit smoking and he loves sunflower seeds. And then there's Mr. Pendanski. They call him Mom. That's pretty funny. There's one rule. Never make the warden angry. Ever. She owns everything, even the shade. Here are the other campers. They have nicknames and they also have real names. The only one who calls them by their real names is Mr. Pendanski. So I have both here, but we're going to use their nicknames. You need to know that there's another kid. His name was Lewis. They called him Barf Bag. Lewis is still in the hospital. I hope he didn't get bitten by a yellow spotted lizard. First we have Zigzag, a.k.a. Ricky. Zero. Zero doesn't have another name. They just call him Zero. Mr. Pendanski says it's because he's got nothing in his head. Magnet. His name is Jose. X-Ray. Look at him with those glasses. They call him Rex. That's his real name. Squid. His name is Alan. And Armpit. His real name is Theodore. We find out that Stanley was arrested for stealing sneakers. But not just any sneakers, my friends. Clyde Livingston sneakers. He's a famous baseball player. That would be like you or me taking sneakers that belong to A-Rod or Derek Jeter or something. And you know what he tried to tell the judge? They fell from the sky. He was walking and the sneakers just fell over the overpass. I wonder how that happened. It was kind of a terrible day for our friend Stanley. You see, in school, there's this bully. His name is Derek Dunn. And Derek Dunn had stolen his notebook with all his homework in it, and poor Stanley was getting ready to redo all of his work when he looked up and he saw a pair of sneakers about to land on him. You know what he thought, guys? Hey, my dad's doing experiments on sneakers. I'm going to take these home to my dad, and maybe he'll be able to use them. Little did he know, they were stolen. So that is the end of our recap for chapters 1 through 6. Let's see what happens next week in chapters 7 through 13.